Hey everybody, my name is Steven and you're watching the Fowler Airgun channel, and we just did a video previous to this on tuning, or I guess proper adjustments for tuning the Air Venturi Avenger in 25 caliber. And we are down at the range, and as promised we are going to shoot us a whole slew of ammunition. I do not have any 25 caliber JSB ammunition. I know that is a favorite amongst the air gunners out there. It is even myself. I do have it in 22 and 177 caliber, but today unfortunately we do not. So just to kind of make this thing a little bit quicker, move it along, we have the chronograph out here. We're going to be shooting, the majority is going to be H&N AIM pellets, and then we have some Predator Polymag, and we have us a few different weights and slugs from Air Velocity Sport AVS slugs, and from Griffin airgun ammo, of course. So we're going to start out, we're going to shoot from lightest grain to the heaviest. Pellet, slug, it doesn't matter. We're just going to kind of rotate them in between. So, and we're also going to be shooting out at 65 yards a day instead of 75. And that's just because there's actually quite a bit of wind today. We're getting some pretty good gusts up here. They're up to like 12 to 15 miles an hour gusts. So I'm not going to say they're coming from the left, coming from the right. I'm saying it's just kind of blowing around down here in the range. And I just want to get as much accuracy as possible out of this thing. So we're going to start with, and we're going to shoot groups of 4 with our ammunition here. So we're going to start by shooting 4 of the field target trophies, which is our lightest grain ammunition, and that is a 20.6 grain, which is incredibly light. So, and again, our regulator is set at 2,000. We are 2 full turns backed off from the hammer spring all the way from full tension. So let's rock and roll. Let's put these things down at 65 yards. Hopefully our chronograph will function with us and we can get some accuracy as well as some readings here over the chronograph. And I will get a little light strip down there over the part where it has the digital display. That way everybody can start seeing, instead of having to hear me call these numbers out, because I've realized in my videos that it's quite a bit dark down here. Okay, so I'm starting top left of the board, and by the way, I have several fresh targets stapled up to our board down there, so if they go flying off anywhere, hopefully as long as they don't go flying off the board, then we'll be able to pick up what we got going on. So we're going to start a hair to the left, a number to the left, on the first farthest left target. Here we go. H&N Field Target Trophy. And it looks like that fell quite significantly, even for the 20 grain. So, and that's a 987. So that is still shooting pretty fast there, guys. Someone had pointed out in that's a 936. Someone had pointed out in another video too, something I thought was pretty funny, was that I was actually doing this, shooting with this finger, and then switching up, shooting with this finger. So I'm not sure why it is I do that, if that's just a reflex thing or what. I'm trying to work on that though. So that's a 926. And this is our last shot of the Field Target Trophy. And I'll be honest with you guys, looking at that from here, terrible. It's terrible. That's a 910. We are actually dropped down to close to 3,600 PSI. And now the regulator is telling me we are at 1900-ish. So we're gonna keep rolling with it. We have 4 coming up of the 23 grain Griffin airgun ammo slugs. Moving on over here. It's an 866. That seems like a fairly decent velocity, excuse me. It's 855. $850. And for our final shot, .848. Well, it looks like the regulator has dropped down to, okay, it's slowly starting to creep back up there to that 1900. Okay, so it's still slowly moving up. It's moving up pretty decent speed. It's right up to 1900 now and still cruising. So, and that was at 848. So I have our empty magazine. All right, let's get rid of that. And now we get to shoot us a few of my personal favorite, which if anybody has ever really shot these or messed around with them quite a bit, they shoot fairly accurate out of most of my guns. These are the H&N Hornets. I always like to be real careful sticking them in there into my magazine. Loading my magazines, I always check to make sure that, you know, skirts aren't chewed up and damaged real bad or anything. So, alright, and then after we shoot the H&N Hornets, we will be shooting the Predator Polymags. So we go from a 24.38 on the H&N Hornets to a 26 grain on the Predator Polymag. Alright, so we are loaded up. We're going to be starting with our H&N Hornet. Okay. And we are right at 3,200 PSI. Looks like the regulator is floated up to just under 2,000 PSI on the regulator, so hopefully it's working as it should. Alright, let's see if we can't get some velocity readings and hear some lead downrange here. We're going to be shooting second target on the right. We're going to be shooting at the 8 far left. And that shot low and to the left a bit. It's at 892, so upper 800s on that shot. .868. .855, and that was pretty much hold right over the top of that last shot. And I'm pretty sure that was as well, so that's a duel for .855. That is the last of our H&N Hornet. Moving on to the Predator Polymags, and we're going to be shooting dead center of the target to the right here. That's at 830, and that just hit just low of the center of the target, so .819. .816, and for our final shot, .818. Alright. Empty magazine. Move these on over. And we have us next. Let's see. So we're going to start by shooting some of the, these are 26.26 or 26.24 grain, excuse me, correction. Crow Magnum. A little bit of a snug fit. loading that magazine on that first round there. Alright. And after that we'll be shooting 4 of the 27.47 grain Barracuda Hunter, which I like the Barracuda Hunter, and I have a Crawl NPO3 that shoots these things exceptionally well. Alright, here we are. Get our magazine loaded up, check our pressure here. So, regulator is it's just right off of the edge, leaning towards 2000 from the 1900, I guess like the 1900-ish range there. I guess that would be more like a 1800-ish range, so probably about 1900 on the reg. And we are right at about 2900 PS, probably 2800 PSI is probably a little closer. So yeah, we're going to be starting with the Pro Magnum, moving on to the Barracuda Hunter. Call out these chronograph numbers as I go. We're going to be shooting, moving on to the target at the bottom now, and these are, I'm expecting these may drop a bit, so let's just hope this gets on board here. Alright, that's on there, that's good, that's at 847. I just want to make sure it's on the paper so that we can go down there and really get some measurements and figure it out. $821. $809. I'm not quite seeing that one unless I hold it. This is the last shot here for our Pro Magnum. And that one as well, I'm not quite sure where that has gone. That is at 816. Regulator has dropped down to about the 1500. It was trying to push that little yellow line there. It was trying to touch the yellow line there, but it's slowly creeping back up. Yep, there it goes. Okay, so now we're getting closer to that 1900. Alright, let's see. And now we're going to be shooting the Barracuda Hunter, 27.47. I'm going to just go dead center of target here and see what we get. It would help to load around and also get you guys downrange there. Not that there's much you can see with my crap camera here, but you know. Alright, so that wasn't bad, 825. It actually was quite a bit higher than the last. So that's a little odd to me that the lighter grain seemed to have more of a drop, and it could have been a flyer. It could have just flew high. Let's just keep shooting. Was that 825 on that shot? The 809, and that was pretty much right next to. So pretty odd that the lighter grain stuff was actually dropping more. That's 798, and for our final shot here, $797. Alright. Empty magazine. And we're going to start with the AVS, the Air Velocity Sport 32 grain dish base. We're going to shoot 4 of those, and then we're going to have to take a pause, and we're going to have to remove the magazine, insert ourselves the drop in the single shot tray, and it'd be interesting. It'd be my first time actually taking it out of the box and trying it out, so hopefully it fits in snugly. I noticed that they, much like a lot of these manufacturers are doing, are adding the magnets into them to kind of keep them into place, which is a great idea. Never really had an issue with the single shot tray before though. Okay, so that seemed like a bit more snug in the barrel, loading that one in. Let's see what we got here. So we are at regulator sitting right at about 1900, and we are right at about 20. Yeah, that's hard to say. I'd say that's probably about 2300 psi. Shooting a 797 on our last one. Let's get to it here. Alright, so 65 yards, we're going to go center of target. Hopefully we get on pay. Actually, we're just going to go far right, top side of target here. Take that back. We're going to go left, top side of bottom right target here. Alright, great. We're on paper with a 787. Yeah, you can feel that when it's loading into the barrel there. This feels like it has a much wider diameter than the pellets and slugs we've tested so far. .767, and that shot was right next to the other, so not bad. That's a good group as well for a 736. That's a small group from here. Alright, so that's really not that bad actually for a 756 with the AVS 32 grain dish based slugs. So far that's probably about our best grouping here. Now we're gonna take this out here. We're gonna grab ourselves our single shot tray, and there we go. Okay. So, sorry, we have our single shot tray loaded in, and now we're going to try these Griffin air gun ammo 40 grain 25 caliber slugs. We're going to shoot us 4 of them. These guys are significantly much longer. The length, obviously, this is why we're going to have to hand load them into the single shot tray, which they have plenty of wiggle room in there. So that is great. Let's see how these load in. I feel fine. These should have quite a bit more drop. And we are right at 2000 psi. And it's like right at 1900, so it's creeping a little bit. It's still like right on the bar, just below 2000, so I'm going to say that's about 1900 psi still. Let's get these 40 grain guys down range here. Far right top of the target here. Alright, it's on paper with a 691. Looks like it might have dropped a bit more there. It's a 667. that was right next to the last shot with a 664. And our final shot here for the 40 grain Griffin air gun ammo slugs. Well, I'm not sure where that one went. I didn't really see it on paper. It could have flew far right. That's a 665 on that one, guys. And we are right at about 1900 PSI. And okay, so right now what I'm reading on the regulator is it's still on the green side of the regulator, but it is right the orange manometer bar, and this is the yellow here, is just butted up to it, the outside of the bar there. So I'd call that maybe between 16 and 1800s, I guess. So anyways, I say we go down range. We take our calipers down there this time. We check some accuracy. Alright everybody, so we are back down range, and we have our trusty old digital caliper here. So here's what we got going on. Okay, so we started with our field target trophies, and this was our point of aim here. I'm sorry, I apologize. This was our point of aim here. And we got a right pretty good spread here. Definitely almost more, not even almost worth measuring. I mean, wish I didn't have to do this with one hand. Let's see. Okay, so that's pretty close there. So we're at 3.7. So, and we are on inches, 3.747. And we come up here, and we have our Griffin air gun ammo. These were the 23 grain TC hollow points, just their basic slug here. And you're looking at 3.520. We move over here. We shot us some of the H&N Hornet, which to me this is no surprise. I feel like these shoot relatively well, and actually this is pretty good for, you know, shooting out at 65 yards. However, we did have this guy that wanted to fly off to the side, but if you even count that, we're only at let's see. Let's get our furthest spreads. Oh, there we go, from right here to here. Well, that's 2.062, and we move over. We have our Predator Polymags. This is going to be our furthest spread here, and from center to center, we're at 2.240. Then we move on. We were shooting the Crow Magnums, which is this group here, which now I'm seeing what's going on. So we had one guy that flew down here, and two in this hole and one here. So we have a spread of, actually it looks like it might have hit farther over left than I thought. Maybe, looks like that thing was probably sailing sideways a little bit. 2.867. And we move over to the Barracuda Hunter, which, like I said, for 25 caliber, I feel like these things perform pretty well here. Our farthest spread, we're looking at about right at 2, so 2.016. We come over, and then we started shooting a few more slugs here at the end. And actually, I was quite impressed with this from Air Velocity Sport, the AVS slugs. These are the 32 grain dish base. And our farthest spread here, we are at 1.168. And we move over, and we have our last shots here, which I thought there was a screw poking through this thing. I believe I shot the screw off of this thing, guys. There was originally a screw. That's why the paper's folded up here. There was a screw through the back where I had pressed the target over it, and it looks like we shot the head off of the screw. I'm almost 1,000,000% certain. I'm about to actually pull this thing off, and we're going to find out. But so we're going to say our furthest spread. Oh man, that's hard to tell. It looks like it wanted to come right here. So we're looking at 2.613, and those were with the 40 grain Griffin airgun ammo slugs. I'm not sure if maybe it just hit this. Let's take a look here. Let's just pull this off. No need to have it up there anyhow. Yeah, it 100% sheared that screw head right off of there. Turn my calipers off here so that we can have a better look at this. So, yep, actually, it did not shear the screw head off. What it actually did is it pushed it back. Look at this. There's actually, that's pretty funny there. So this is one of the slugs right there wedged in that tire real good. Let's see if I'm going to try to get you guys where you can still see while I do this here and try to get the slug out of here. Oh, God, this is one of those 40s. It is buried in this tire here. That's pretty tough. It looks like no penetration on the back side of the tire. I'm going to dig this thing out real quick, guys, so please just bear with me. I know you guys are probably, oh, yeah, you know, I don't know. There's no point in doing that, but just me, I'm just going to, only going to take me a second here, hopefully. It's coming out. It's working its way out. I'll tell you, it hit it with some force because it is in there. Man, that's pretty interesting stuff there. So it went through the board, through the OSB, and like I said, this thing was already a whopper of a slug here for 25 caliber, but there's the slug there after it went through the wood and deformed and lodged in the tire, and it lodged in it real well, and you can actually see the grooving from the barrel on the slug, which is always nice. I like to look at that too. So yeah, real nice, guys. So that's our accuracy out of 65 yards with what we've shot. I'm going to go get aired back up. We're going to do another video. I have to do these things in stupid little increments because, excuse, I just don't have the stuff to upload all these long videos to you guys. However, I'm going to go back. I'm going to get some fresh targets on these boards here and air up. And we're going to go adjust that spring a little bit. I'm going to see what my followers say before I do that. How about that? I have some pre-wedding stuff I have to attend to today anyways over the phone. So while I go and do that, please, if you guys, any of my followers see this, if you have any recommendations, any comments, just remember with our tune in the previous video, we have the hammer spring adjusted 2 full turns all the way out from the max tension, and we had our regulator set at 2,000 psi. So anybody have any suggestions, anything they'd like to see based off of the spreads I was getting here, anything that you may recommend, please recommend. Thanks for watching, guys, and if you like my videos, make sure you hit like, make sure you subscribe, follow me for more. We'll catch you next time.